Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Who has a 4-day weekend? I worked yesterday, Saturday, on my day off. I have today off. I work again tomorrow, and then I have the 4th off again. Saving up the funds I need for a rear locker. Hopefully, I'll have my rear locker in by the October van meet. Here's some lifted van hype for you guys. I had to park next to this van right here. Box truck with the van front end. So if you want a lift kit for your van, there's a perspective right there. The Gorman Hungry Valley van meet was 2 weeks ago. I announced it on short notice, like 3-week notice, but we still had a good group out there. I met Sebastian's Life 91, Campos Vasquez. This was my second time hanging out with Jose PhD 27. And we got a surprise visit from Larry from Action Van Suspension. You guys probably have seen the footage already. I'll pin it in the comments, and I'll leave an end card to the last van meet. But it was a lot of fun. We were at the campground, one of the campgrounds in Hungry Valley. I was setting up the cameras, getting ready to hit the trails. And then out of nowhere, this lifted van pulls into our campground and said, asked us if this is the Flying J lifted van crew. And I said, yeah, man. And I thought he was Rick. Some guy named Rick left me a comment a couple of days before the last van meet and told me he might show up. I gave him my number and said, text me, call me, let me know if you're gonna make it. So I thought it was Rick. So I asked him, are you Rick? It was Larry from Action Van Suspension. Really cool guy. You know, I gave vendors an open invitation. One of the vendors I invited, if they want to join us in the October van meet, is U-joint. Yeah, I have a U-joint diff cover. So I'm gonna get this put in to replace my stock diff cover once I get a rear locker. If I go aux locker though, if Larry does do aux lockers and I decide to go that route, I'm not gonna need this anymore. So who wants to buy this from me? If I'm not gonna need this, I'll give you a good deal. But yeah, U-joint, you're invited. U-joint has a YouTube channel. If U-joint wants to join us in October and try to convince some of us to go 4-wheel drive, U-joint, you're free to join us. I have one guy with the U-joint conversion who wants to participate in the October van meet. Here's my last upload. If you haven't seen it yet, I talked about the Ford Parts 1 spacer lift and my thoughts on spacer lifted Econolines and their off-road capability. In my opinion, it's a very good combo with 265 tires, especially if you're going standard body. If you're going standard body, 2-inch spacer lift and 265 tires. Yeah, see, my van's really long. Look at that thing. It's kind of ugly. I've always said I think the extended Econolines are kind of ugly, but I do like the looks of it because it is kind of ugly. See, that's what a standard length van looks like. And all Ford did for the extended van was tack on almost 2 feet, and then I added even more length to it. And going off-roading, I don't smack that storage box around, surprisingly, so 5-inch lift works great to not smack around that storage box. I have enough clearance. But yeah, if you have a standard length van, spacer lift and 265 tires, you're good to go. You got some pretty good off-road capability. Here's one of my friends interested in participating in the October van meet, bobziila13. So if you're on Instagram, give him a follow. You may meet him in October. So this was his original van. He had the Ford Parts 1 spacer lift on it, and then he upgraded to a old 4x4 conversion. Hey Bobzilla, what does this thing have? Does it have a Pathfinder? I've heard of Pathfinder and Quadra van. Did Quigley convert vans of this body style? I want to say they do. So is it a Pathfinder, Quadra van, or a Quigley? So yeah, and then his friend owns his last van now, so his friend may join us too. So that's a 2-in-1 deal right there. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, give bobziila13 a follow. You may meet him at the next van meet. So the next van meet is going to be here. This is where I want to meet up. We're gonna meet up at Flying J in Brawley, 1850 Main Street. It's not showing up on Google Maps for some reason, So what I did was I mapped this out right here. So, okay, that's Beale Road. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Main Street. Hold on. Here's the plan for the next van meet. So my plan is to meet up at the Brawley Pilot right here. So I went ahead and mapped the closest gas station to the Brawley Pilot, since it's not showing up here. It's a Chevron, but it's right across the street. So right here, and then the main event is gonna be in Anza, Borrego, but we're gonna meet here, and then that's only 30 minutes away from Slab City, and then Salton Sea is right here. So you drive up, see, there's where is it at, Nyland right there, and then we just go through here. That's Slab City. So first day we will meet here, and then you could van camp there on Friday night into Saturday. So my plan is to meet with you guys on a Saturday. You know, you could van camp there, and then we'll meet, and then we'll head to Slab City. We'll hang out, and then it's your decision if you want to sleep on the outskirts of Slab City or if you want to head back to the Flying J. There's a shower there. And then the next day we'll head to Salton Sea, and then we could come back around, and then Anza Borrego is going to be the main event. So I just use a Mirage Gas Company as the general location because this is 10 minutes away from a cool off-roading spot, hiking spot, overlanding spot, and then there's a nice hotel like near this area. So my plan is to start off in Slab City, the Flying J 30 minutes from Slab City, so we could van camp there. So 2 days of van camping. It's your choice if you want to do a hotel, if you want to sleep in a hotel or motel in Nyland, but I wanted to position this where you could van camp, so you have a shower, save money on a hotel, you have your van build. So if you've never done the van camping thing before, that's how I wanted to make this van meet, so you could experience your van build sleeping in it. If you have a significant other, all the spots we're choosing has a internet reception. So if your significant other gets bored, well, they could hang out in a van. We have our house on wheels with us, so that's the beauty of these vans, right? Your house is with you no matter where you go. So the first 2 days, van camping, and then the main event, Anza Borrego. So Salton Sea and Slab City, it's an experience, man. It might not be for everyone, but it's something that everyone should experience. And if we're gonna convoy into Slab City, and there's like 10, at least 10 of, there's 19 people wanting to do this van meet, if even half shows up, we're rolling 10 deep, and you're safe when we're rolling 10 of us into Slab City. And I don't want to sleep inside of Slab City. We'll sleep on the outskirts of Slab City, or if you want, you could head back to the Brawley Pilot. It's 30 minutes away, so I planned all this out so everything is convenient. There's food. The Brawley Pilot doesn't have you know, the fuel isn't crazy expensive. Yeah, if you fill up in Nyland, Slab City, the fuel's like $1 more a gallon. In the at the Brawley, it's comparable prices. So yeah, everything is planned. So we have internet reception, a nice place to sleep, shower access, and then the main event is going to be he wanted to check out the van. I saw that. See, he's like, man, that's a nice van. I don't blame him. See, man, people love lifted vans, right? People love lifted vans. I saw him look. I have a video when I was filming my last lifted van build. As I was filming it, someone said, "Are you selling that?" So yeah, that's the plan, man. I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, man, Larry treated us so well at the last van meet. I'm gonna go with him for the rear locker. When he pulled up, and you know, we talked before we hit the trail. We talked a little bit for about 10 minutes before we hit the trails, and he told me, "I really appreciate your videos on your honesty on the lift kits for these vans." And he told me he watches my videos. If I need a rear locker, he could help me out, hook me up with the deal. And I figure I should go to Larry. I mean, he's been lifting these Econolines for 25 years. So my plan, I mean, I talked to him. I said, dude, you should have a YouTube channel, man. So when I visit the action van facility, hopefully he has a van on the lift. Maybe there'll be a couple lifted vans there. And I really want to ask him, because you guys have been telling me, hey, it would be really cool if you could ask Larry and you could get on video, like talking about lifted vans more, like how he got into it, doing it for 25 years. He told me he has sold 5,000 action van lift kits, and I know through my van meet videos, 6 of you have already commented on my channel from the last van meet, or messaged me saying, I'm going with action van now because of your videos. And yeah, man, I had an action van on my last van. I have a Weldtech now, and having experienced both kits, I don't think Weldtech's the better product. It might have the edge off-road because of the bent beam geometry, but on road I think the action van feels more stable from what I remember, because when you look at the Weldtech, the width is less because the bent I-beams are sucking in the front track. When you look at my friends with their action vans lift, their tires are sticking out. Even Sebastian's van with 265s, he's not running wheel spacers and his tires are sticking out nicely. So having had experienced both kits, that's why I promote action van. I think if the $2,000 price difference is going to determine if you're able to afford a lift kit or not, I think when you go with action van suspension, you're not getting a lesser product. Maybe Weldtech's better off-road in extreme conditions, but how many of us are off-roading in really extreme conditions, like doing jumps? Because I got a TV and a microwave flopping around like this, like does this when I'm off-roading, and you could hear it, and then my microwave plate is flopping around. So my goal when I go off-roading in this van is to do casual trail riding and find remote campgrounds. So that's the most off-roading most of us will do. So like I said, working on my days off again. I want a rear locker. I do have a U-joint diff cover. Some of these decals are gonna have to go. I can't have a U-joint logo and a Weldtech logo. And then when I get my rear locker, I'm gonna get the action van steering stabilizer. So 2 logos are gonna have to go. So there's my van. There's a little van talk for the day. Man, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in October. This last van meet was so much fun. Adding some off-roading to it really added to the fun factor, along with geeking out about our friends' van builds, checking out what everyone's doing.